The WWE Universe just witnessed something absolutely insane. Jade Cargill didn't just make a statement last night, she rewrote the entire playbook. Tiffany Stratton, the rising star everyone's been buzzing about, got absolutely demolished, and I'm not talking about a regular loss. I'm talking about the kind of destruction that changes careers, that shifts power dynamics, that makes you question everything you thought you knew about the women's division. Before we dive into this chaos, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you never miss another moment of these incredible highlights. Let me take you back to where this all started, because you need to understand the gravity of what just went down. Tiffany Stratton has been on an absolute tear. The girl's been untouchable, taking out veterans left and right, making it look easy. She's got the athleticism, the charisma, the championship material written all over her. The WWE Universe saw her as the future, and honestly, that future looked bright. She had momentum like a freight train, destroying everyone in her path with that moonsault that's become her signature exclamation point on dominance. Then you have Jade Cargill. That girl, the Storm, walking perfection who came into WWE with more hype than possibly anyone in recent memory. Former AEW star, undefeated streak that became legendary, physique that looks like it was carved from granite by ancient gods. When she stepped into WWE, everyone knew something special was coming. But here's the thing about Jade that separates her from everyone else: she doesn't just win matches, she makes people believers. She makes you understand that there are levels to this game, and she's operating on a completely different plane of existence. The build to this confrontation was electric. You could feel the tension crackling through the arena for weeks. Tiffany, cocky as ever, talking about how she's the present and the future, how these newcomers need to understand that WWE is her kingdom now. She looked at Jade with that smirk, that confidence that comes from steamrolling through competition. And Jade? Jade just smiled. That knowing smile. That smile that says you have no idea what's about to hit you. When that bell rang, the atmosphere was absolutely suffocating. These two powerful athletes circling each other like apex predators, each one calculating, measuring, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The opening lockup was intense, both women trying to establish dominance, neither willing to give an inch. You could see Tiffany's strategy immediately: use her speed, her technical prowess, stay mobile and avoid Jade's raw power. Smart game plan. Solid approach. Completely irrelevant once Jade decided to end the debate. Tiffany came off the ropes with a beautiful dropkick that would have knocked down most opponents. Jade barely moved. She absorbed that impact like it was nothing, and the look on Tiffany's face said everything. That moment of realization, that split second where confidence turns to concern, where you understand you might be in over your head. Jade grabbed her, and what followed was a clinic in pure dominance. The power moves started coming fast. A thunderous slam that shook the ring. A spine buster that had the entire arena gasping. Tiffany tried to fight back, throwing everything she had, every strike in her arsenal, every high-flying move she could muster. She caught Jade with a beautiful handspring elbow that would have been a highlight against anyone else. Jade shrugged it off and responded with a pump kick that nearly took Tiffany's head clean off her shoulders. This wasn't just a match anymore. This was a statement being written in real time. The crowd was absolutely losing their minds. You had the Jade supporters going crazy, seeing their champion assert her dominance. You had the Tiffany fans desperately hoping for a comeback, believing in their star's resilience. The energy was manic, chaotic, beautiful. This is what professional wrestling is supposed to feel like. This is that special magic that only happens when two incredible athletes are telling a story that resonates on every level. Tiffany showed incredible heart, and let me be clear about something: this wasn't a burial. This was Tiffany getting exposed to the absolute elite level and learning what it takes to hang with the best. She kept getting up. Every time Jade knocked her down, she found a way back to her feet. That's champion mentality right there. That's future star behavior. But sometimes heart isn't enough. Sometimes you run into someone operating on a completely different frequency. The turning point came when Tiffany went for her signature moonsault. Beautiful rotation, perfect form, the move that's finished so many opponents. Jade moved, but here's where it gets interesting: she didn't just dodge. She caught Tiffany mid-air. Caught her like she weighed nothing. The strength required to do that is absolutely absurd. The arena went silent for a split second, everyone processing what they just witnessed. Then Jade transitioned directly into Jaded, her devastating finisher, and the impact was seismic. But it didn't end there. This is where Jade Cargill showed the WWE Universe exactly who she is and what she represents. She could have gone for the pin. Easy victory. Move on to the next challenge. Instead, she pulled Tiffany up at 2. The referee's hand was coming down for 3, and Jade broke her own pin. The message was clear: I'm not just here to win. I'm here to make you understand the difference between good and great, between potential and perfection. What followed was systematic destruction. Another Jaded. The crowd was in shock. Tiffany was completely out of it, but Jade wasn't finished telling her story. She lifted Tiffany again, held her up for what felt like an eternity, showcasing that incredible strength, letting everyone soak in the moment. Then she delivered a third Jade that had the ring shaking, had commentators screaming, had the entire wrestling world pressing record on their phones. When Jade finally made the cover, it wasn't just a 3 count. It was a coronation. It was the official announcement that a new era has begun in the women's division. The referee's hand hit the mat 3 times, and you could feel the shift in energy throughout the building. Something fundamental had changed. The landscape had been altered permanently. The aftermath was equally powerful. Jade stood tall in the center of the ring, not celebrating wildly, not showboating, just standing there radiating pure dominance. She looked out at the crowd with that same knowing smile, the smile that says I told you this was coming. Meanwhile, Tiffany was being checked on by officials, the reality of what just happened written all over her face. She'd been drowning in glory that wasn't hers, swimming in waters too deep, and Jade had just shown her the difference between wading in the shallow end and diving into the ocean. Let's talk about what this means moving forward, because the implications are massive. Jade Cargill just announced herself as the measuring stick for the entire women's division. Every champion, every contender, every rising star now has to look at what happened to Tiffany and understand that's the level you need to reach. That's the standard. Rhea Ripley watching backstage had to be taking notes. Bianca Belair seeing this had to be recalculating strategies. Becky Lynch somewhere is definitely paying attention. This is the match that changes everything. For Tiffany Stratton, this is actually the beginning of something special if she handles it right. The greatest wrestlers in history all have that match where they got exposed, where someone better showed them what they're lacking. Stone Cold had his moments early on. The Rock got humbled multiple times before becoming the Great One. John Cena had to learn these lessons. This loss, as devastating as it was, as complete as Jade made it, this is Tiffany's opportunity to evolve. She can either crumble under the weight of this defeat, or she can study what happened, get stronger, get smarter, and come back better. The choice is hers, but the potential is absolutely there. The wrestling world is going to be talking about this for months. Social media is already exploding with reactions. You've got people declaring Jade as the most dominant force in wrestling today. You've got analysts breaking down every move, every moment, every facial expression. You've got fans creating highlight packages that are going to rack up millions of views. This is the kind of performance that transcends just being a good match. This becomes part of wrestling history, part of the conversation about legendary performances. Think about the technical execution for a moment. Every move Jade hit was crisp, powerful, and perfectly timed. Her ring presence is absolutely magnetic. When she's in that ring, you cannot look away. The camera loves her, the crowd responds to her, and most importantly, her opponents feel her impact. That combination of physical dominance, charisma, and in-ring psychology is incredibly rare. You don't see complete packages like this very often, and when you do, you're witnessing something special. The booking of this match was brilliant too. WWE could have played it safe, made it competitive, protected both women with some interference or roll-up finish. Instead, they had the guts to present Jade Cargill exactly as she should be presented, as an unstoppable force. Sometimes you need to establish hierarchy. Sometimes you need to make it crystal clear who's operating on that top tier. This match did exactly that without diminishing Tiffany's credibility in the long run. Looking at the bigger picture, this opens up so many incredible possibilities. Jade vs. Rhea Ripley now feels even bigger. Jade vs. Bianca Belair becomes a dream match of epic proportions. Jade in the Royal Rumble becomes must-see television. Jade in a championship match at WrestleMania feels inevitable and right. WWE has struck gold here, and they know it. The key is continuing to book her strongly, giving her meaningful feuds, and letting her showcase why she's that girl. The women's division in WWE has never been hotter. You've got established stars at the peak of their powers. You've got rising talent ready to break through. You've got legends still capable of incredible performances. And now you've got Jade Cargill operating as this force of nature that everyone has to contend with. The stories that can be told, the matches that can be delivered, the moments that can be created, it's all incredibly exciting. What happened last night wasn't just Jade Cargill defeating Tiffany Stratton. It was the official launch of a new era. It was the announcement that the landscape has shifted. It was proof that sometimes the hype is real, sometimes the expectations can actually be exceeded, sometimes you get exactly what was promised. Jade told everyone she was coming to dominate, and she's backing up every single word with performances like this. For everyone watching at home, for everyone in that arena, for everyone who's going to watch the replays and highlights, remember this moment. Remember where you were when Jade Cargill made it undeniably clear that she's not just part of the women's division, she's the standard by which everyone else will be measured. Tiffany Stratton didn't just lose a match, she became part of the story of Jade's dominance, a chapter in a book that's just beginning to be written. The glory that Tiffany had been building, that momentum she'd been riding, Jade took all of it and made it her own. That's what champions do. That's what legends create. That's what happens when someone truly special steps into that ring and decides to show the world exactly who they are. The WWE Universe just witnessed history, and trust me, this is only the beginning. Make sure you're subscribed, notifications are on, because what comes next is going to be absolutely incredible, and you won't want to miss a single moment of this new era unfolding before our eyes.